Good morning, everybody. I want to welcome you to Creating Cards with Debbie. My name is Debbie Foster, and I'm located in Bismarck, Arkansas. I'm an Independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I'm so glad that you're here this morning. Be sure that you comment and like the video when you come on, and be sure that you share it. Hit that share button. And if you're watching it later today on YouTube, be sure that you hit that subscribe button that's down below, and you'll be notified when I upload new videos. So let me go ahead and get my laptop up and running so I can watch comments. Well, I think it's a little bit slow this morning. Let me do a refresh. Facebook has changed a few things, so I'm still trying to learn what they've done. All right, there we are. Okay, so now I can watch the comments as they come in. And I want to give just a moment for everybody to get here. I think I might have came on just a little bit early. Hope everybody's doing well. Today is Wednesday, September 21st already. It's hard to believe. I don't know where the month has gone. And besides that, I don't know where the summer's gone to, but we're still having summer weather here in Arkansas. We're supposed to be hitting close to 100 today. And I don't think we're going to get any fall weather temperatures until maybe Friday. But then it's going to warm back up on Saturday again. So it's kind of like a roller coaster up and down. We just don't know how to dress. I haven't even brought out my fall clothes yet because it's too hot to wear them yet anyway. So maybe in October. Okay, so like I said, be sure you comment, say hello or something so I know that you're here. And if you're not in Arkansas, it's kind of fun to see where everybody is. If you say where you're from, it's kind of fun to watch those too. And I think I'll go ahead and turn the camera down, so we'll get that out of the way, and then we'll get started. If you get motion sickness, be sure that you close your eyes, and I'll tell you when we're ready to switch. Ah. Hi, Amber. Glad you're here. I missed you last week. Hope you're doing okay. All this technical stuff we got to take care of right off the bat here. And all right, I think I can zoom it a bit. And I'm thinking I need to go maybe this way, get my cords out of the way. I think I just made it worse. I have a delay on my laptop, so I'm waiting for that to catch up to me. Just trying to get it straightened out here a little bit. I'm still crooked. I never know which side to go with. And that made it worse. I think we got to come back this way. Well, I'm making it really worse here. I should have left it well enough alone here. towards me a little bit. I think I might just leave well enough alone and see how that does. Okay. Yeah, I was going to send you an email, Amber, but have you changed your email address or something? Because the last one I sent, it didn't go through. I don't know what happened. So maybe you've changed your email address or something. If you could maybe private message me and let me know what the new one is or how to get a hold of you. Okay, like I said, I'm upside down. Let me turn that around. Gotta turn my phone around here. And I rotate my phone. I'm just making everybody dizzy here. Come on, clear up. It's kind of blurry. I guess because I was moving it too fast. Well, now I got to readjust everything again. I'm going to zoom it. And let's see how that is. Okay. All right. Got so much background showing here. We'll get it together here in a moment. I appreciate everybody being patient with me. I'm thinking I need to come this way a little bit. There. All right, let's see how that does. I'm going to remember to work right up here on this surface. Okay, like I said, my name is Debbie Foster. I'm an Independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Bismarck, Arkansas. And the name of my Facebook page that you're on right now is Creating Cards with Debbie. And if you go to YouTube, you can search that same name and you should find me. So I'll be uploading this to YouTube later today. If you shop with me, any products that I'm showing today or anything, any supplies that you might be needing for your crafting needs, you can go to my website, which is www.debbiefoster.stampinup.net. And if your order is under $150, use this September host code, which is YAMZSUN2. But you only use that if your order is under $150. If it's over that, I want you to not use it, and that way you'll get the rewards. Okay, and if you need to reach out with any questions or anything or email me, my email address is creatingwithdebbie179@gmail.com. Okay, let me set these aside. Paper Pumpkin. You can subscribe to the Ho 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 Paper Pumpkin, which is our September Paper Pumpkin. And it says, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas with these festive cards. Send merry and bright cards this holiday season with a Ho 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 Paper Pumpkin kit with classic Christmas colors and holly jolly sentiments. The cards in this kit are sure to bring Christmas spirit. Word from the North Pole is that this kit coordinates with next month's Paper Pumpkin Tag Kit and a special add-on product. Wonder what that is. With so much coordination between products, it will be a breeze to create cohesive holiday crafts for all your gifting needs. Make this season the most wonderful time of the year for your loved ones and for yourself. And this month's kit contains enough supplies to create 9 cards, 3 each of 3 designs, and 9 coordinating envelopes. Send classic Christmas cards with a whimsical feel this holiday season, and it coordinates with the upcoming November Paper Pumpkin Kit and North Pole Sacks add-on. It includes an exclusive stamp set and an early espresso classic Stampin' Spot, all packaged in a very special paper pumpkin box, which is really cute. Okay. And with the paper pumpkin kits, it's a monthly subscription, but you can cancel it at any time. If you don't want some kit, you can just cancel that month and then start it back up the following month for something that you like. So your first kit will come with everything that you need, including a acrylic block. So you'll be all set to go. And if you have any questions on that, you can reach out to me too. And there's on the description of this video, there's a paper pumpkin website that you can click on that and you can go right to that directly and sign up. So it makes it easier for you. Okay, we still got perfect partners going on until September 30th or until while supplies last. And what this is, I'm trying to make sure it's going to fit in the camera. It is, some of the stamp sets that are in our annual catalog didn't have any dies to go along with them. So during the month of September, Stampin' Up! Has come out with some of the dies to go with some of the stamp sets. So you can, if you don't have the stamp set already, you can get it as a bundle and still save your 10% discount. And we've used the little Piggy, the birthday Piggy, this birthday Piggy stamp set and dies already. I showed those, was it last week or the week before? And lots of choices here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different stamp sets that come out with the dies. And this is only good until September 30th or while supplies last. So you should be able to go into my store and look for Perfect Partners. Click on that and it should take you directly to it. And Stampin' Up! Has still got their weekly deals going on. I was going to print out the flyer for this week's weekly deals, but I ran out of ink with my printer, so I need to get to the store tomorrow and get some more ink so I can do that. But you can also find that on my store too. Just go to my store and it should say weekly deals, I believe, and you can click on that and it'll show you what the deals are. Lots of good deals on those. I know I bought some things last week, but I'm waiting for my order to come in. And it's quite a bit of a savings that they've got things discounted at. Okay, and of course you can still join my team, get your starter kit for $99, and that's no shipping. You don't pay any shipping on that. And you get to pick out $125 worth of products. So that's a bargain right there. And you don't have to do what I do. You can just do it for the discount, because after you get your starter kit with your first order, you get a discount on that order of 20%, and then all the following ones after that. So who doesn't want to save money? That's a good deal. And if you don't want to continue with it, you have a quota that you need to meet each month for the quarter. But if you don't want to do that, you can just let it lapse and you keep all the products that you've got. You don't have to return nothing, and there's no penalization or nothing. So it's a good deal. It's a good way to get extra products if you want to just do it that way. But you can keep it going and get your supplies at a discount later. So, but if you have any questions on that, be sure you reach out to me. Either private message me or email me. And then in the description of this video too, it has the website to go to join my team. So I'd really love to have you on board. We have lots of fun. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started here. Like I said, be sure you like and share the video. That helps with my viewers, gets me more viewers. So we're going to start out with, well, let me get my lighting over here fixed up first. Got some shadows going on here a little bit. Here's our first card. I'm using the Dragonfly. I know there's some people out there that love dragonflies. I have a daughter that she really loves the dragonflies. In fact, she's got a tattoo of a dragon on her leg, or a dragonfly on her leg, so I guess she really does like them. Okay, so I've got a broken fingernail here that's bugging me. Okay, so it says, for a true friend, and then on the inside it says, take care of yourself. So I'm using the stamp set, Dragonfly Garden, and the punch that goes along with it is called Dragonfly's Punch. And you can find those in the back of the annual catalog, the punch, and then the stamp set is in the regular section of the catalog. So it used to be it came as a bundle, but it's no bundle anymore. You got to buy them separately. So let's get our things together here and we'll get started. Get the show on the road, so to speak. Alright, so we're going to be using, this is the ribbon we're going to be using. It's the metallic mesh ribbon. And this came out last year. I think it was in with the Halloween stuff, but I use it for other things, and it's even pretty for Christmas cards also. So it's not just Halloween. Here's my blends that we're going to be using. And I think I've got everything out. Nope, I need my stamp pad. We're going to be using Smoky Slate ink and plus the Black Memento ink. I feel like I'm kind of out of sorts today. I don't know what's going on with me. Maybe too much coffee. Okay, so let's get this started. I've got Rich Raspberry as our card base. Put that over there. And that measures, it's 4 1/4 by 11, and then it's scored in the middle at 5 1/2. And the inside is our basic white, and that's 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. I'm going to set that aside. We're going to bring in our bone folder, and we're going to burnish our fold of our card. And then I'm using the same Rich Raspberry, and I die cut this piece out of it, and that comes from our split card textures dies. And it comes with 2 dies. It has this with these shapes, the squares, and then these are like little flowers. Hoping I'm seeing it okay. Yeah, we're getting a little bit of glare, but not too much. And I guess that's about all in our blends and our rhinestones. And so first off, I'm going to decide which way I want this to go. I think I want it to go this way. So I'm going to bring in my seal, Stampin' Seal. I'm going to attach that ribbon behind it. Oh, hi Becky. Glad you're here. Let me see if I'm missing any other comments. Okay. Alright, so we're going to take our Stampin' Seal, and I'm going to put some on this side. I'm going to bring in my silicone mat so I don't make a mess on my work surface here with the glue, the adhesive. Alright. Oh, I thought I already cut that. I guess I didn't. Okay, we're going to take a bit of this, and we're going to just attach that. And we're doing this one the opposite one. I'm doing it right. Okay. I thought I messed up already, but I'm okay. And I'm just going to attach that there, bring it around the front. and connect it to that side. And get our scissors and snip that off. Okay, that looks good. And we're going to glue that directly onto our card. I'm not going to put any dimensionals behind it. So let's get our Tombow glue, our green glue, our liquid glue, whatever we call it. It's the adhesive that I usually use most. Alright, pick that up without getting glue all over my fingers. And we're going to place that down on our card. Oh, I didn't give the measurements of this. This is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And I got some glue on there. And then I die cut the squares out of it. Added the ribbon. Alright, and I still got glue on my fingers. Alright, so we're going to set that aside for a little bit. And we're going to do some stamping. I've got some scrap papers here. And we're going to be using this tall flower. And I'm going to stamp that with our black memento. With the larger stamps, I like to turn them over upside down and then put the ink on them. That way you can see what you're doing. A little bit of tap, tap, tap here. And we're going to place that on there. There's no die for the flowers, so we fussy cut that out. But I've already done that, so you don't have to sit here and watch me. Alright, and then we want to do the dragonfly. And we're going to be using the black memento on him too. Morning, Sharon. Glad you're here. Have you recuperated from your vacation yet? And I'm going to squeeze him up here. Okay. And we'll put the lid back on our black ink so we don't make a mess. Okay, so we're going to take that stamp set has, this is for the wings. It's the stamp right here. And we're just going to ink that up with our smoky slate. And we'll fill in our wings. And I'm going to come back in with some blends to add a little more color to him. I want to see if I want to do this second generation. Well, maybe not. So we're going to go, and it doesn't matter if it goes out of the lines because we're going to be punching this out anyway. Alright, we'll close up our ink pad. And then I'm going to come in with my blends. I'm going to use a little bit of Blackberry Bliss and a little bit of So Saffron. So I'm going to do the Blackberry Bliss first. And I'm just going to kind of highlight that a little bit. Because when you see dragonflies, their wings aren't all one color. They kind of got other colors mixed in with them. So am I using the dark or light? This is the light Blackberry Bliss. And we're going to come back in with the light So Saffron. And we're going to kind of blend those together. Soften up that Blackberry Bliss a little bit. I had a dog hair there, I think, one of Cookie's hairs. So everybody's doing okay today. Like I said, our weather today is going to be a scorcher. It's going to be, I think they said 100. That's the air temperature. I don't know what the heat index is. Okay, so we're going to put those aside. And I'm going to come back in with my, that's the dark gray. I want the light gray. To do his body with. This is the light gray granite. And let me turn this. Okay. Alright. So we've got our punch here. We're going to punch out our dragonfly. And I probably didn't orient them right, so let me cut these off. And I don't know if I can make this work. I'm probably going to need a Post-it note. Let me turn this over. So he's got to go in this way. So I need to put the Post-it note over here. I could slide them in there. I should have stamped them the other way, but I'm not going to sweat the small stuff. Let me get this in here. Okay, so using the Post-it note to push it in there, we're going to, hopefully it doesn't move on me. And I find it easier to push down on a hard surface to punch them out instead of trying to fight them. And it does punch out a small one too if you wanted to use the small one, but we're not going to use that today. Set that aside, and we're going to set the dragonfly aside. And I've already colored our flowers, so you don't have to sit here and wait on that. I used, I'll give you the colors that I used. I used Granny Apple Green is the stems, Blackberry Bliss for the flowers. I guess that's all I used, just the two colors. Oh, and then for the tops of the flowers, I used, it's a SU 100. Okay, so we're going to set that aside. We don't need that yet. We're going to use these. We're going to get our dimensionals, Stampin' Dimensionals, and our Take Your Pick tool to get those off of there. Oops, wrong end. I need the pointy end. And we're going to put dimensionals on the back of our flowers and the back of the dragonfly. So we'll go ahead and do that. And I want to put enough that it doesn't sink in the middle, so we're going to do that. And then I'm going to cut off a small edge of this to put on the tail portion. And I'm going to turn them over and make sure it doesn't show. Yeah, we're okay. Alright, now we're going to do the flowers. And we're going to put quite a few on this to make sure it doesn't sink. And my husband is out there driving around. I guess he's bored. Okay, I think that's good. And we'll bring our card back over here, and we're going to pop all these dimensionals backings off. If you ain't got fingernails, the Take Your Pick tool is your best friend. Oops. Well, that one is really being stubborn. I guess I tore it. Yeah, I didn't. I missed the garbage can down here, so we're going to be getting the broom later. I hope to have a different setup next week. I'm going to be moving my craft room around a little bit, so I'm hoping that works out good. Maybe I can do some reorganizing and get my things together where I can find things. I'm sure that'll happen. I'll probably organize so well that I can't find nothing. Alright, we're going to put our dragonfly on this portion. And then we've got a scrap of white paper. We're going to stamp our sentiment, which is for a true friend. And we're going to use the black Memento ink again. And then we'll just fussy cut that out. Looks pretty good. Get our paper snips over here. Let me cut this down so I can work with it. Okay, I'm just going to cut around the sentiment. No particular way. Just, I like to leave a little white border around my words. And we'll just go around and around. Alright, like so. And I'm not going to place that on dimensionals. I'm just going to glue it directly down to our card. So we're going to use a little bit of glue. No, it's more than a little bit. It came out fast. I've got a new bottle here, so it's really comes out. I got to watch. Alright, so we're going to put that up here in this corner, right above the flower. And that little piece of paper is right there, stuck. There we go. Alright, and then we're going to tie a faux bow over the other bow, other ribbon. We'll just scooch that up underneath. I hope I left enough to tie. Yeah, I think we're okay. And just like so. And we'll trim that down, make it a little bit shorter. Okay. And then we need to add some bling, so we're going to be using our rhinestones, basic jewels. And I'll use the other end of our Take Your Pick tool to get that with the putty end. And I'm going to, am I still in camera view? I'm going to keep an eye out here. We're going to place 3 along this seam of where the die cut is. Okay, so here's the outside. And I'm going to add some wink of Stella to our dragonfly, to his wings. Give him a little shimmer. I know the camera probably won't pick it up, but I can see it. Okay. So there's the front of our card. So let's do the inside of our card now. Alright, I'm going to start out with our sentiment using the black Memento ink. And where did I put that? Okay, for the sentiment, we're using the sentiment out of the cup of tea. And we're using this one to take care of yourself. And I guess I didn't know that already, so we're going to put that on a block. And let's see if I can get this off without getting too much ink on me. maybe. Yeah, we got it. Not too bad, a little bit. Okay, it says take care of yourself. And we're going to stamp that in the center of our basic white. And then we're going to come back with our smoky slate. We're going to stamp some dragonflies that are flying around. And I didn't mount those either. I must not have had enough coffee this morning when I was doing these. Okay. So, let's see if I can match these up without taking that off. Yeah. So we're going to put some across the top. Alright. Close up our stamp pad and put some glue on the back of this. Alright. This goes on the inside of our card. Okay, so there's our first card. We've got for a true friend, and then on the inside, take care of yourself. I'm just making sure it's in the camera view good. Oh, thank you, Becky. Am I seeing all the comments here? Yeah. Okay, so let's go on to our next card. And this is the card. It says, thank you for your friendship. And we're using the cup of tea bundle. It's the dies on the stamp set. And this is the card. And the inside, the outside says, thank you for your friendship. The inside says, I miss you. Let's get together soon. Okay, so let's get started. I'll leave the dies over here because I need to use those. The paper that we're using comes from the Tea Boutique 6x6 Designer Series paper, which is, they're all double-sided. Quite an assortment. I think I've showed them before. We're going to be using this paper, and on the other side has the teapots, which I kind of was thinking using the teapots, but then I changed my mind. Okay. I've done some of the legwork ahead of time here, so we'll save a little bit of time. Alright, so our card base we're using is Starry Sky cardstock. That's one of our new in colors. And that's 4 1/4 inches by 11 inches, and then it's scored at 5 1/2 inches. And then I ran it through my machine, my Stampin' and Cut embossing machine. And I'm using the gingham embossing folder. I don't know if you can see that really well on the camera. And then we're going to burnish our edge of our card to give it a good edge. That fingernail is still bugging me. I can see it on camera. Alright. And our other pieces are, we have basic black, and that's 2 1/2 inches by 5 1/2 inches. And then this is the paper that I showed you with the teapots on the back side, and that's 2 1/4 inches by 5 1/2 inches. And we're going to glue those two together. So we'll bring our glue back over here and glue these layers together. And you'll have just a little bit of edge on each side, and then the top and bottoms match up. They're the same length. Alright, and then we're going to glue that directly onto our card front. I have some glue on my surface here. And we're going to put that right in the center of our card. And it looks like I need to trim off a little bit at the bottom, so we're going to do that. We're going to bring our small guillotine cutter over here. Stampin' Up! Doesn't sell these. They did them as a promotion for demonstrators a couple years back. But I wish they would sell them. Real handy to keep on your desk. They're small and compact instead of a big old guillotine. Which I have a bigger guillotine, but I don't never use it because it takes up so much space. I do drag it out occasionally, but not very often. That's our inside. And then I have cut out some squares using the Stylish Shapes dies, and I'm using this one here to cut out a white and a black. The Stylish Shapes dies have circles and squares, and then they have the little banners. So I love this die set. It's really, I use it all the time, it seems like. And we're going to put that into our magnetic bowl so we don't lose that. So I'm going to take these, I'm going to take the black, and I'm going to put that at an angle onto the front of our card here. And I'm just going to put a little glue in the center because we don't need the whole thing. It's going to be overlapping some. And we're going to place that like a diamond shape. And trying to get it straight here. We'll attach that. And then we're going to stamp our sentiment at the bottom before we glue that on there. And that is the thank you for your friendship stamp. And it's going to go at the bottom of our white square. I'm hoping that I don't get my head in the camera. I'm trying to get over the top of this so I can see it. Okay. And I'm going to place that on top of our black triangle, diamond. But this is going to go straight on. And try to get it as straight as I can. That's a challenge, you know, for me, getting things straight. Alright, and then we're going to bring our designer series paper over here. We're going to stamp it with the striped cup, and we're going to use the Starry Sky, which I didn't get out yet. Here it is. Ink pad. And ink that up really good. And we're going to stamp it onto our paper. And I probably should have used my piercing mat underneath because we're using photopolymer stamps here, but I guess so far I'm lucking out. So Oh, and before I close that up, we need to stamp our flowers. And give us a scrap of white paper here. And stamp that on here. And these both have dies to cut them out, so we don't have to do any fussy cutting. That's a relief. Alright, set those aside. Close this up. And then we're going to bring out our baby boss, and we're going to die cut these. You'd end up losing a finger, Amber. Okay, so we're going to use our plates. They say to use the white plate. I think it's a number 1. Yeah. But I've changed it out and I'm using a number 3. It seems to be easier to grab when you're rolling. So if you're having problems with yours, just switch out your bottom plate and it should be fine. I know a lot of people have had complaints about it. Where'd my scissors go? There it is. And I'm going to cut this down to size so you can fit that in there. And snip that off, put this aside. And we'll put our cup down here. Bring on our die. I've got some washi tape here that I've set aside we're going to use. And we don't need it moving on us. Or on me. Alright, so we're just going to put that there. And then we need the one for the flowers. And I'm going to cut this down to size too. We don't need all that extra paper. Okay. And I guess you're not really on camera view here. I'm kind of hiding it, but you'll see the finished product. We're just going to match that up to our stamped image. Get us some washi tape. And we're going to lay our plates down there, and I hope this doesn't jiggle the camera too much. Trying not to. Okay. We'll close her back up for now. Take our plates away. Well, that one's pretty sticky. With my washi tape, so it's not so sticky, I'll put it onto my clothes and get rid of some of the tackiness. But I guess I maybe didn't do it enough on that one because it was kind of sticky. This one's better. And then I save them and reuse them each time, so until there's nothing left of them. Usually they tear and fall apart, and then it's time to grab a new one. Okay, so we're going to place our dies in our magnetic bowl so we don't lose them. So here we have our cup and our flowers, but I'm going to cut these down to size too because I need to have them a little shorter. And okay, so we're going to attach that to our cup with a little bit of glue. And bring my silicone mat over here. Get my work surface halfway unsticky. And then we're going to place our cup over the top of that. And I should have trimmed off some of that. We're going to turn that over and trim off that excess flowers. There. And snip that part off right there. Okay, so this we're going to place up on dimensionals. which I have put right here. And I'm going to use the large and the small. And my Take Your Pick tool, which has disappeared. Here it is. And, oops, tore the backing off of that one. And let me get a little one to put up here. And a little one right on the handle. I'm trying to get it so that it's not sticking over the edge. Alright, so put the dimensionals away. Take these dimensional backings off. Pop them off with my Take Your Pick tool. Two little ones here. Okay, so bring our card back over here. Move our silicone mat. And then we're going to place that in the center of our white square. Just like that. And then I've already tied a double bow using, what is it? It's called the 2022 to 2024 In Color Baker's Twine Pack. You get all the in colors in here, 5 of them. And we're using the Starry Sky. No, I'm using the Orchid Oasis twine for the ribbon. Then I'm going to bring in our small glue dots. These come in your paper pumpkin each month, so I like to use them for the small things because they're a little bit smaller than the mini ones are, mini glue dots that you buy. And I always have plenty of them left over after I do the kits, so. Okay, so there's our ribbon on our flowers in our cup. So we need to put a bit more bling on there, so we're going to be using the Iridescent Rhinestones Basic Jewels. And we'll use our Take Your Pick tool. And I'm going to grab some of the smaller ones, and we're going to place those on our front. And then I'm going to put a couple over here onto the card base itself. Okay, so here's the outside of our card. So now we're going to work on the inside. And the inside is our basic weight, which is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And then I've got a strip of that Designer Series paper that's a 1/2 inch by 5 1/4 inches. Well, it's a little bit longer, but we're going to trim it off. So I'm going to put a line of glue along the left side, and we're going to attach that little strip of Designer Series paper just to give it a little oomph on the inside. And we'll leave a little edge. And turn it over and come back with our paper snips and just snip that off. And we're going to stamp on the inside. It will be I Miss You, and then Let's Get Together Soon. And I'm going to use our black Memento ink again. I'm going to do the I Miss You first. I'm just making sure that these are inked up right. They're going to stamp decent. I don't want it messing up on me. Alright, so I Miss You. We'll go at the top. Oops, and it did mess up on me. Can I match this up? Oh, crud. I don't like that. Can I tear this back off real quick? Well, not very neatly I didn't, but maybe it won't show. When I stamped it, I didn't get the eye in there. Let's try this again. No, I don't like that. Oh, goodness gracious, here, and I've got some more white. I always cut out some extra insides when I'm cutting my basic white to the 4 by 5 1/4 inches. It's in case of these situations I can grab it. I wonder, maybe it's because I'm not using my cushion underneath it. So let's try that. Alright, that's much better. I miss you. And let's get together soon. Just make sure that stamps right. Yeah. And I'm going to kind of put that at an angle off to the right side. Oh, okay. We're on a roll maybe. Now I got to see if I can salvage that designer series paper, or do I need to cut some more? I'll get it to straighten. I might luck out here. So this is how you fix goof lips. Hopefully. Okay. It's not quite the same length. It might have been a little shorter on this one. Or maybe my other one was too long. Okay, put that aside. We'll put some glue on this and put it on the inside of our card. Hope you stay tuned because I have a fun fold, which is our last card. I like to try to include one fun fold in each episode, so I enjoy doing them, and I think a lot of people enjoy seeing them. Okay, so we got that under control. So here's our, I think I'm going to trim our ribbon down a little bit. Okay. I'll just throw it on the floor. We'll sweep it up later. Okay, so here's the front of our card. Thank you for your friendship. And then I miss you. Let's get together soon is the inside. Alright, so let's get to our fun fold. Clean up here a little bit so I don't get so confused. Alright. I'll add that in there. Oh, okay, I know. Alright, so we're using the Harvest, Hello Harvest, and then the dies that go with that, which are called the Rustic Pumpkin dies. And you can get this as a bundle, and I think it's in the mini catalog, which is good until the end of the year. But this is a nice one for Thanksgiving and fall cards. Let me make some room here and get some things out of the way. Okay, that's what we're using. And this is the card. It's a fun fold. And I don't know. Let me see if the camera will pick at it. We're on a delay here. Okay. So there's the front of the card. And then here's the back of the card. I've got a long delay on this. Okay. So let's go ahead and get busy with that. we're using our basic black as our card base. I'm going to have to bring my paper trimmer in here because we're going to do some scoring. I wanted to be able to show you where the score lines are before, instead of doing it ahead of time. Alright, so our first score line is going to be, let me get my instructions here. Our card base is 4 1/4 inches by 10 1/2 inches. So you're going to cut off a 1/2 inch of that length off of the 11. So it's 4 1/4 by 10 1/2. And then we're going to score it at 1 3/4 inches. Let me bring this down. 1 3/4 inches. And make sure you keep that cutting blade out of the way because I have been known to use the cutting blade instead of the scoring blade. And then you know what happens. Okay. Alright, so we're going to do the 1/2 inch first. I'm getting ahead of myself here. So bring this back to the 1/2 inch. And we'll score that. And then we're going to do 1 3/4 inches. Sorry about that, that was loud. 1 3/4 inches. And then we're going to move it over to 3 3/4 inches, which is right there. And we'll score that. And we'll score again at 5 inches. You want to make sure that you keep your paper tight up against the edge there so it doesn't get crooked on you. Alright, so we've got that done. And then we've got a basic black, which is 3 inches by 5 inches. And we're going to score that at 1/2 inch and 1 3/4 inch. Sometimes it's easier to go on this side to get your 1/2 inch. That way you have all the space here to hold your paper so it doesn't move on you. So we're going to do that and then we'll turn it around. So there's our 1/2 inch. And then we're going to do 1 3/4 inches. We turned it around. And we'll score right there. Okay. Alright, so that's all the scoring that we have to do. We'll set our paper trimmer aside here. And trying to find somewhere to set it so it's out of the way. We'll put it over there. Okay. Let me get my bearings here. Okay, so let's start with the larger piece. We're going to bring in our bone folder and we're going to score those or burnish those edges of the score lines. And this one. And again on this one. Alright. Uh-oh, did I miss one? Oh, there it is. I didn't see that. Wait a minute, something's not right. Make sure you burnish all those score lines. You'd be confused like I just was. Okay, so this is going to make our little box. And we're going to bring out our tear and tape. Did I not have that out? No, I didn't. You could use liquid adhesive too, or a tape runner, but I'm going to use our tear and tape because I want to make sure it stays really good. So I'm going to put that onto this little flap here. And I'm going to bring out my silicone mat so I don't get glue all over it. And it's going to go on this edge. So get my tear and tape lined up on there and get it unstuck from my fingers. And like it says, you just tear it off. You don't have to use the scissors or nothing. And we'll leave that out because we've got to use it again on the next one. I'm just going to get a good edge on that so it's sticking really good. And then I'm going to come in with my take your pick tool, the pointy end, and I'm going to release that paper off of there. And then we're going to maneuver. And I'm trying to see, this has got to be able to fold up into a card. How did I do that? Let's see. Okay, to make it easier, we're just going to fold this down and bring our card over and just place it down, rub it, and there we have our bottom box. And then we're going to add our designer series paper, which comes from, I don't have it out here, it's the designer series paper that goes with this suite here. Oh gosh, hold on, I'll grab it. I can't remember the name of it. It is called the Rustic Harvest 12 by 12 designer series paper. And we're using this one here. It's got pumpkins and different designs on it. I think I've showed it before. Diagonal stripes, cords, sprigs. I think we used it last week on one of our cards. It's very pretty. I need to order another pack. And there we go. But our designer series paper measures 3 3/4 inches by 4 inches, and that's going to go at our upper portion here. So we'll go ahead and we'll glue that down. If I can find my glue. And I better sit on my chair. I'm just sitting on the edge of it, and it could go out from underneath me. Who's done that? I've almost. And then my husband gets after me a lot and tells me to sit back in the chair before it goes out from underneath me and I end up on the floor. It would be funny. Maybe. Okay, so we're going to push that down and get that out of our way. So we're going to center this on our top flap. And let's see, we have another piece which measures, didn't I not cut that? Yeah, okay, I was hiding. Another piece of that designer series paper that measures 4 inches by 1 3/4 inches, and that's going to go on our front flap here. And all these dimensions will be on my blog later today. I'm hoping that I get to them. If not, they'll be on there by tomorrow sometime. So we're going to close this down so we can match up our sides of our designer series paper so they match up. There we go. So we have that. And then we're going to take, I think I'm missing one. No, okay. We have our basic weight, which measures did I not put the dimensions in there? I guess I didn't. Okay, yeah. Our basic weight measures 2 3/4 inches by 3 inches, and we're going to stamp our pumpkin on there. And we're going to use our black Memento ink. Whoops, I got too much ink on it. Get some of that off. Let me turn this upside down so I can see what I'm doing, so I don't get globs of ink on there. Do some tap-taps instead of squishing it down into it. Alright, we're going to stamp that right in the center of our white. Okay. And I'm going to come in with a scrap of white. I guess I need to grab another scrap, and I've got ink on my fingers. Well, I had that big. Where'd that go? Well, what did I do with my scrap of white that I had? Okay, I set it over here. I knew I had it just a moment ago. And then we're going to stamp our hello. And we'll die cut that out with one of those banners. Okay, I like how that stamps. Alright. So we're going to go ahead and color our pumpkin first. And let's see if I used colors. Pumpkin pie, but I don't think I've gotten that out yet. Let me grab my Stampin' Blends for that. I'm using the light and dark pumpkin pie, and then the light evening evergreen for the stem. So we'll do the stem first. Okay. And then we're using pumpkin pie Stampin' Blends, the light and dark. I'm going to start out with the dark, and I'm going to do some shading. And I'm just going to do a straight line over all these little dots, because when I get done coloring, you're not going to be able to tell I didn't do them according to the stamp image. I'm getting a frog in my throat. Where'd that come from? They say our pollen is pretty high right now, so I guess that's what's going on. Good old allergies. Okay. It won't be long, it'll be Thanksgiving here. Not too far from now. That's what the pumpkins remind me of. Pumpkin pie. So what's your favorite pie? Is it pumpkin, or is it apple, is it pecan, or any of the cream pies? I'm going to make myself hungry here talking about food. What's for lunch today? It's a good question. I haven't even thought that far ahead. With my husband retired, we've been eating a lot of leftovers for lunches. We'll have whatever's left from the night before, so we don't waste a whole lot, which is good. The price of groceries right now. You can't afford to throw food away. And some of the leftovers are pretty good. I made deer steaks last night for supper. They were pretty good. They came out good. Okay. Alright. I'm going to bring my brush end over here and kind of smooth them out a little bit. so this is going to glue onto our black one here. We're going to fold these on our score lines like we did the bigger piece. And we're going to add some tear and tape to this tab. So we're going to add our tear and tape and tear that off. I think we're done with the tear and tape now. And I'll go ahead and put this on the card first, and then we'll attach our pumpkin to that. And this goes this way. I'm trying to get an idea of how I want this. So fold it down, making sure I got that so it's going right. And we're going to center that onto the front of our card, and then we'll press that layer down with a tab. And then we're going to add some glue to this end. I could have put tear and tape on here too, but just in case I have to slide it around, I'm going to just use the liquid glue. But it looks good. Make sure it sits up right. Yeah. We got that down. And then we're going to add our pumpkin to the front of our little box right there. And it's easiest if you just fold the whole card down, then you can work with it instead of trying to have it standing up and trying to put it on there. That could be a chore. Alright, and I was going to splatter that and I didn't. I'm going to take our light evening evergreen and I'm going to splatter. I should have done that before. Just to give it a little bit of toning down a little bit. And I used to take the cap and spritz like that, but it kind of ruins my tips. I've found that using my bone folder, hitting it, that way it saves on my tips and it doesn't ruin them, which I messed up my work surface, but that's okay. You might want to put an extra sheet of paper down there to protect your surface. Alright, so we're going to set that aside. We're going to come in with our baby boss again. And we're going to die cut this hello out, which I don't need all that paper. I'll cut that down. And did I take that out of my shapes? No, I think it's still in here. Sadly shapes, I got to get my banner out of there. And I'll find it here. It's this one right here that I want. And put those back in there, don't lose them. Okay. And get our plates over here. And we're going to cut out our hello. And I'm going to use my washi tape to hold it in place on this too. And we'll just run that through. Hopefully no shaking going on. Close our baby boss back up. Put our plates aside. Washi tape. Next time, put our die into our magnetic ball. So here we have our hello. So we're going to bring our card back over here. And I'm going to put some glue at one side and then dimensionals on the other side of it. And I think I'm going to use the mini ones because they're a little bit thinner than what our regular sized ones are. So I don't need a whole lot of lift at that end. So just a little bit. And we'll pop those dimensional backings off. And we'll place this on our card. I think our video has been pretty good today. I haven't seen any glitches going on. Hopefully. Alright. And then we're going to do the back of our card, which is our basic white, and that's 4 inches. Wait, looking at the wrong one. Yeah, 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And we're just going to stamp our sentiment on the back using this one. It says, "Wishing you the loveliest day." And I'm going to be using our black Memento ink. And I'm going to keep my stamp turned face up and come back in with my stamp pad and ink it. Make sure I get a good coverage on there. And then we're going to just stamp that right in the middle. And I've got a smudge there. Let's turn that over. Okay. And then I had a little piece of Designer Series paper we're going to put at the bottom. And that's a 1/2 inch by 4 inches. And put a little glue on there and attach that to the bottom of our card. And I'm going to butt it right up against the bottom edge so there won't be any white showing, hopefully. That's the plan. And then we'll attach that to the back of our card, our fun fold. We'll turn our card over, put this on the back. Make sure that we're going the right direction. Gosh, my fingers got ink all over them. I didn't realize that. Might have been how I got the smudge on the back of this one. Okay, so there's the back of our card, "Wishing you the loveliest day." And I've got the Designer Series paper at the bottom. And we've got to finish the front of our card yet. We've got our black baker's twine. We're going to use that. It's a double bow. And I'm going to bring back those mini glue dots that come with our paper pumpkin. Oops, clean up the old ones off of there. And we're going to put that right at the stem, at the bottom of the stem in the center. There. And did I not put the gems in there? Guess I didn't. What I did my rhinestones. Right there, we're going to put rhinestones on here. But I'm going to use my dark pumpkin pie Stampin' Blends, and I'm going to use the brush end of them. And I'm going to color our rhinestones. And it's kind of rough on the tip, but that's okay. And then we're going to take your pick tool and pop those off with the putty end. And we're going to place them on the front of our card. And I'm going to put 2 up there. Okay. Okay, so here we have some tails that are kind of, one's longer than the other. Let's trim that down a little bit. Okay, so here's our fun fold. Hello, And then on the back side it says, wishing you the loveliest day. So that's our fun fold for the day. And I'm going to go ahead and decorate our envelope. We don't do that enough. So I'm going to, I have a card here that's Stampin' Up, and I'm going to place that inside my envelope because the Stampin' Blends will bleed through, so I don't want it to go to the back side layer. So I'm going to put that in there to protect my envelope. And then we're going to stamp that pumpkin again. And we're going to use our black memento ink. And we'll stamp that down in the bottom left corner. And then we're going to come in with our blends again and we're going to color that. So we're going to start out with our dark pumpkin pie. And I'm going to do the same thing as I did on the front of our card. So I'm going to outline, do some shading. Okay. I'm not sure what I'm going to work on for next week. I've got some new stamp sets coming, so maybe I'll use one of those. I'm not sure what else. I want to include one fun fold of some sort. And I want to thank you all for being here today. Okay, so now we're going to come back in with our light pumpkin pie. And I'm going to go around the edges with that bullet end, and then I'm going to come back in with the brush end and fill it in. It'll be faster. Okay. Now let's do the brush end. It kind of dolls up your envelopes so they're not so plain. Who wouldn't like to have this come in the mail to them? I think it'd be cute to open the mailbox and find this looking at you. Okay, so let's bring back the evening evergreen light, and we'll do the stem. Okay. So there's our pumpkin in the front of our envelope, and see it doesn't go through that way, so that protects our envelope. So we've got this. Let me move some things out of the way here, clean up a little bit, cover my glue bottle. And I'll bring our cards back over here that we did. Hopefully I can fit them all. Okay, so this, maybe move that a little bit. So I hope you enjoyed our cards today, and well, thank you, Sharon. Okay, yeah, I'll tell Jack that Kenneth said hello. Okay, I'm just looking at the comments if I missed anything. If I missed anything, I'll go back through them again and answer. I think I caught all the comments. Okay, so here's our 3 cards. Hope you enjoyed them. And next week, I'll be back next Wednesday, which would be September 28th. That's the last Wednesday of the month. That's the last week of the month. I can't believe that already. And I'll be the same time at 10:30 Central Time, and then all the other time periods. I've got those on the comments up there in my description of the video. I couldn't think of the word. I was having a senior moment there. But I hope you'll be able to come back next week again. And if you have any suggestions of what you'd like me to do, any special stamp sets or anything, let me know. And if I have the items, I can work up something. I'd be happy to do that for next week. So until then, I want to thank you for being here. If you're watching this later on YouTube, be sure you hit that subscribe button down below. And like and share the video on there too, and on Facebook. So I'd appreciate that. It gets me more viewers. So until then, y'all have a good week. Try to get some crafting time in if you can. And we'll see you next Wednesday, 10:30 Central Time. Same channel, same time. Thank you for being here. Bye.